Yo, yo, yo. You already know. Say yo, yo, yo.
Hey,
Welcome to the show. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? I am Marissa the Thinker, and you are now tuned in to another episode of Thinker versus Speaker. I got another special guest in the building today. I call her Tiffanie, Tiff, T-I capital F. You know, some call her Chef T. You know what I mean? Well, she got a lot of names and a lot of hats and a lot of things that you do. Anyway, welcome. What's up, Tiffanie? How you doing today?
hey, thank you so much for having me, Marissa. I'm feeling good. You already know, enlightened,
Yeah.
blessed,
Yep.
everything positive, and all of the above.
Okay. Okay. It's just another
Yes,
beautiful day in the neighborhood.
yes, ma'am.
All right. You want to tell the people a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Sure. Hey, y'all. My name is Tiffanie Toles. Right now, I am the CEO and owner of Catering to a T. We are a full service catering company based out in St. Louis. We pretty much can handle anything from event planning to catering to just adding a couple decor pieces. Whatever you need for your event needs, we can pretty much handle it, which is pretty cool. I am also a doctoral student at Missouri S&T, which is Missouri University of Science and Technology in Rolla, studying engineering management and systems engineering.
Ooh.
My research is in sustainability. Yes, ma'am. And I specialize in data analytics. I'm working on my second publication now with my thesis already being published. And I do also already have a master's in engineering management with a PM certificate, as well as my bachelor's being in petroleum engineering. So,
Damn, girl.
yes, girl, crazy life. Outside of that, all I do is write poetry, free my mind, travel. But yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about me.
Ooh wee. Okay. I'm glad you made it through petroleum engineering because that one class broke me.
Yes, when I say it was definitely a struggle through, but no matter how you see it, we both still made it through. We both still made it through.
Girl, I remember too. I thought about that the other day. I was like, yo, me and Tiff was really in classes together. I was like, if I asked her questions, I might have made it. But I was, like, that shit did not make sense. y'all, this is no understatement. Like, we had petroleum fluids together.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'd be in class. I didn't know what this man was talking about. And Tiffany would just be taking her notes like, yep, it's easy. Yes.
Tell me more. Why don't you? No.
Exactly. And I'm just like, what language is he speaking? Because this shit don't make sense. I was like, we don't even have enough fucking factors to answer this question, do we?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bruh.
Like, dude, yeah. Now, I do remember that teacher, he was very vague. And I felt
Yeah.
like he did that on purpose. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna give you too much of the answer in the question. But he was one of those professors where I was like, all right, dude, so what are you even really asking?
I didn't know.
Right. Like what are you testing on again?
I had no clue.
Exactly. No, exactly.
I had no clue. Okay. Okay. So what made you so did you always kind of aspire to go for a doctorate, or did that just kind of like happen as you went along like the route in school?
Um I've always, I can honestly say, I did always aspire to have some type of education, but as far as to go as my doctorate, um, I would say it kind of happened on the way along my path. But one thing about things that happen, I feel like in your life, as life goes on,
Mm-hmm.
as you look back, you know, you start to realize that the seed was already there. You just never paid attention.
Now that's real.
Like, yeah, like when I first got, so in order, like, and honestly for me, college is a dream come true. When I was in high school, my mom was honest with me about, her ability to be able to afford for me to go to college. So she put a lot of efforts in helping me get scholarships, making sure that I was staying on track, keeping my grades,
Yeah, because you
make sure I
wasn't
was
playing
writing my
once you got there.
essays. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But a lot of that underground work, honestly, that was all my mom. And she pushed me to apply for the Gates Millennium, and it wasn't until I actually got the Gates Millennium Scholarship in 2011 that I realized that the possibility for me to go to school however long I want to go, whether that's for my
Oh
bachelor's,
yeah.
master's, right, or my PhD, it would be covered. Now, when I went to school and I got my bachelor's, I did get a job. So I mean, like, at first I was like, "No, I
I'm
ain't
out
finna
this
go.
house.
I ain't finna go
Yeah.
further." But it's crazy because the whole time my gates never expired. So it was more so like, I just deferred it for a year, and then while I was working, my advisor was like, "Hey, come and do this research. I think you'll be really good at it." Just based on a lot of the undergrad opportunities I had already took advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
I did it and I loved it, and it brought out another side of me that I didn't realize pretty much I had the skill in. And so from there, my PhD was just a continuation of that. But like I said, the seed was already there. Even
Mm-hmm.
though in the beginning I wasn't thinking PhD route, God already had me covered, I feel like, because even though I wasn't thinking it, the funding opportunity
Went
it
away.
never left. Right. The
Right.
door never closed for me to be able to do that. So,
That's
yeah.
dope. And
Yeah.
and that new skill set that you're talking about, is that like the research aspect of it?
Yes. So, research and development is a skill set. It takes a lot of
Hell yeah, it
skill
is.
to be able to read something, draw correct inferences from it, to build data, build hypotheses, and to be able to build an experiment, then go back and say, "Hey, this is what I did wrong with this experiment. Here's what I can do further," and to continue to better that. So I feel like having that skills, they're like critical thinking and problem solving skills to me.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah, you was good at that.
yeah, finding a solution. That's one
You
thing
was good at that.
I was gonna find
Yeah.
one thing about me, and I feel like that's just me in general. It don't matter if it's with school or anything. I'm gonna make a way out of no way. Like,
That's a fact.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
gonna find out how we gonna get this done. No, don't worry about
That's
that.
very much true. That's very
Yeah.
much true. Yeah. Okay, cool. And which one do you say that you like better? Do you feel like engineering is more in line, or research is really where it's at for you now?
Well, understand. Even though I am on the research side, everything that we're doing is still considered engineering.
Mm-hmm.
It's still engineering in general is, to me, well, I mean, you could look up engineering, and I'm sure that the definition would be somebody who like designs, builds, or maintains. But in the end, engineering in general is all about, um, to me, innovating a process. So
Mm-hmm.
making something better, like coming up with a better or a new solution or a new process or product, or any type of improvement, to me is what engineering is. And anything that you're doing, whether that's on data side, soft skills side, or even if it's just conceptual and there's no mathematical process to it, anything where you're building and you're improving on it, to me is a re-engineered product design or process. So it's all engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to put it, actually. I think that's actually the best definition of what engineering is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of people think, oh, engineers are these people that are going to be highly technical, and or they're like, oh, work in the field. It's so many different type of engineers across industries.
True.
You know what I mean?
And a
So
lot of it is problem solving. Like, even like
yes,
when we were in school, like most of the things that we did, always the root of it was problem solving. Like,
yes,
here's the issue, and it's just like, yeah, even word shit different. It's just like, if you take calculus for engineers is going to be a completely different ball game than calculus. Like, it's
right,
just, they just set it up different, because it's just like your mind needs to be set up in a way where you just constantly trying to figure out the solutions to problems.
exactly.
All right.
Definitely.
All
See, I
right.
told you, girl, you made it through.
Yeah. That's true. Honestly, it just led me to my own route, because
Yep.
in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Even though, like, I'm still problem solving in my own ways now, but
Yeah.
it's just different. like even the road that I went down, I might have went off track for a little while, but at the end of the day, it just kind of led me something that's more in line with who I am as a person. Because for me, I kind of like, I chose, like, I was creative and also like, I don't know, like I had like technical skills. So it was just like I could really do either. But like I like being creative, but I always thought it's like, man, creative people don't make no motherfucking money. Creative people, that ain't whatever what it is or whatever. But it's just like, actually, no, that's not true. Like, that's not true. Everybody has their own thing that they specialize in, and it's not really a matter of doing what gets you the most accolades. Is doing what basically is the most aligned with who you are as a person, and then everything else really comes after that.
Agreed.
You know? Yeah. So with that being said, you cook too. Now, I remember them days in the dorms where you used to be cooking, you know what I'm saying? When you used to be cooking and stuff. So like, how did that just evolve into owning a whole catering company? Like, how did that even come to be?
Well, it's just like you said. Sometimes being creative in a way just kind of takes you and molds you through your path. So at a time where I was back in school, so pretty much I left doing, engineering jobs. So pretty much to pursue my master's. So I went from having a taste of a little bit of money to going back to the student life, which a lot of people wouldn't. Right, a lot of people wouldn't do. And I would honestly say a lot of people were like, you're crazy for that. That's kind of dumb. Da da da. Everybody has their own opinion on what you're doing in life. But
the accolades come.
Right. In the end, I thought that, I'm going to use my engineering to fund my catering company, because at first I was just cooking plates on campus to pretty much get by. But honestly, the way my life turned out, my catering business is what kind of helped getting me through my engineering schoolwork, which is crazy, because the catering was more so money that was, I know I can get on demand. It's easy to create a product, get it out there and sell it. The hard part was being, balanced, staying on the process, remaining consistent, and still getting a quality product out there that people will want.
Girl, yeah.
So literally my engineering helped honestly form the catering. And honestly, when I think about it, they honestly both helped each other in terms of my life. Yeah. Because the catering helped me learn a little bit more social skill. I would say I was already very social, but wasn't a great socialist. Being an engineer, I was a little too blunt on things,
You was very straight to the point.
We're taught to be very straight to the point. But my customer service skills got better with my business. Right. My time management got even better with my business. Versus the opposite with my engineering. And overall, it started off as just me selling plates on campus, trying to get by. Then plates became, my small friend, like my friends' baby showers, and small events and birthdays. And then it became, Tiff, bring a dish for this. We like to host this, and tell people about your skill. And then it became vendor events. And then before I knew it, I was getting bookings. Like, bookings. People wanted, they're like, hey, can you do this on this day? And I'm like, I guess if people are inquiring me a booking, I guess I might as well get a booking calendar.
Right. Yeah. It's like, well, if this is what we doing, we might as well do it.
We'll go ahead. Right. We might as well go ahead and do it. And it happened at a time too where also some of my family members were during COVID, jobs were slow. So we were able to come together, use our skills together, to pretty much help support each other and make money through this business, support this business and support, our wealth, in the long term.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool when families are able to come together in that kind of way. and do that. Like my family, in a sense, is kind of like coming together to do that for my mom's project. I don't really want to talk about it yet because I don't know if she want me to talk about it yet. But like, you know, it's interesting to kind of like watch these things start to come together because it starts off small. It's just like, oh yeah, I'll help you do this. Oh, I'll help you do that, whatever, whatever. And then like before you know it, like y'all really doing the thing. Like y'all really doing the thing. So like, what is that like running a family business? Because I know like it get hard. Like it get hard. It's one thing to deal with family, but it's another thing to mix family and money and like trying to get work done. So what is that even like trying to like deal with all of that and like still stay cool?
So I'm gonna tell you right now, don't nobody test you more than your family.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't nobody test you more than your family. It's
Yeah.
easy to get a coworker that you don't know, hire somebody you don't know, and have them trained and provide for them the culture that you want to set, and they'll abide by it.
Right,
When
right.
it's your family, it's why you doing all of this? No, I'm just but you're just subject to a little bit more opinion and constructive criticism than honestly
Mm-hmm.
one person may want. But overall, it is really rewarding at the
Yeah.
same. And because it is my family, if I have last minute business, it's a little bit easier to reach out to cuz be like, hey cuz, got a last minute client trying to book for this weekend. You think you're gonna be available to work?
Right.
And you'll probably have better those friends and family being available versus just typical people in their everyday lives.
True
Um,
that.
and that just comes with the nature of the business. I try my best to, whenever I'm getting the employees out their schedule and their booking, letting them know like ahead of time, like, hey, these are the possible dates for booking. Keep this free if you're available on your schedule. But as things change and clients and the bookings and that timing changes, also is dependent on the client.
Mm-hmm.
So it has its rewards and benefits also as well.
Okay.
Um, Family just, I feel like, are gonna go a little harder for you.
That's true.
Unless you got those family
If you
members
got the
kind
good
of like,
kind.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you got the good kind. Now I know everybody don't, and some people be having the kind that's gonna try to do everything to sabotage, and I know
That's
it's not,
real. Yeah.
but to work it out and everything. Um, they're gonna have the same passion for your business because they know that they're a part of it.
Right.
Um, the same way as you do. So I don't
Right. And they
feel
want to
it.
see you succeed. Yeah.
Yep. And then it's not even no more so a me succeeding. Now that it's family oriented, it's
We all
now turned
succeed.
into a conversation, right? Of we're all succeeding. It's like, oh, we did great with this today. Oh, yeah, Daryl, you definitely did better this time. For the last
Right.
event, or here's where we could work on. It becomes more of a team effort, and it feels good to me because it's like, okay, even though I know that I'm like the main creator of this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not alone in managing this, and they care.
Right. That's good to have. That's definitely good to have.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, like I'm in the middle of like restructuring now, and that's definitely something that I struggle with because the people that you have when you're trying to like build a business or like start a business is very important. And like if people aren't in your corner or like really willing to like put in that work and like have a similar amount of dedication in you, it's gonna make it way harder than it needs to be. So like it definitely matters like the kind of people that you have around you. You want to have people that's supporting you and like see the vision and like also want to see it come in the form for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have for sure. And like yeah, it's fantastic. So like it sounds like you run. So like do you where are you with like the cooking aspect now? Because it sounds like you went from the cooking side to like I'm managing. I'm running it. Like you know what I'm saying?
So I do a little bit of both. It just depends on the booking and the client. Every now and then I'm the only one cooking, and sometimes it's more so some of my family members that are cooking, and I'm just assisting and helping managing the client from the product intake process to delivering the product. So I'm trying to get more of a managing role, but it just takes time to get everybody trained and
That's a
get
fact.
recipes out the door. Yeah, it takes a lot to keep it consistent, to have that foundation. So
Yeah, because I mean, I guess definitely even in a work field like that, like every product matters, like
yeah,
every yeah. So you don't want to get too hands off where it's just like you don't know what's going out the door, because at the end of the day, it's still a representation of you and your business.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So like, how do you balance all of that? Like, it sounds like a lot to juggle. So like, how you do that?
Um, it is a lot to juggle, and honestly, I being in engineering management has helped me to juggle it the best.
I
um,
guess so, right? Yeah.
yeah, that's why I was like, so for juggling in terms of like just engineering and like my schoolwork and engineering and catering, I typically have about 3 calendars.
Ooh, okay.
I use a dry erase calendar that I look at every day, and then I use the Outlook calendar, and then I use my Apple calendar. Now, my Apple calendar is like my end all be all calendar. So everything goes in the Apple calendar. It's
Uh-huh.
a cross between my catering and my schoolwork and all things planned in my life. But my dry erase calendar pretty much handles my day to day, which is like meetings, a lot of my school stuff, and then a lot of things on my Outlook and my Gmail are like catering stuff.
Right.
So I do that purposely so that way I'm always planning my time. And when I say planning my time, I mean I pretty much have a plan for my day, at least for 8 to 12 hours of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
I plan my day literally down to the hour or half hour, however long, it's gonna take me to do something. Um Having that plan keeps me on track. And even when I get off track or whatever, that's when the Apple calendar kicks in. I have like alerts, alarms. So say like I could be taking a nap and I was supposed to only take a nap from 2 to 4 p.m., but I'm oversleeping, because that does
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Yeah.
I'm waking up, you know what I'm saying, at 4:30. So then I got an alarm on my Apple calendar that says, "All right, absolutely have to wake up by 4:30, or you're
Yeah.
gonna be
So
late."
you got the backup plan in
Yep,
the
yep,
calendar already.
yep. Got
Yeah.
the backup plan. So I schedule in for what we like to call slack, you
Yeah.
know, in engineering. So being an engineer as engineering manager and having that planning really really helps me to balance the both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, because like it's interesting when you think about it, right? Because I didn't used to be the greatest at time management. It's something that I'm definitely learning, or at least getting used to, right? And like the idea of being that busy seems so daunting from the outside looking in. But from what I'm learning, it almost gives you a sense of peace. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To know what's coming, because it's just like the first thing that I had to accept, like when I was just like, all right, I'm really finna dedicate myself to this. Like, this is what I'm trying to grow. So like, I'm finna put the work in to do this. And this is just like with any life changes in general, y'all. Like almost anything. It's just like, okay, if I said that I want to go to the gym, then I need to dedicate that time and be
Yeah.
consistent and like know exactly where it is that I'm gonna do it and be able to fit it in, right? Because if not, like if you don't plan for it, there's a high probability that you might not do that in that particular day, especially if it's not routine or if it's not something that you used to. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like I have to know. It's just like, okay, I'm recording with you tonight, so when I get off work today, I need to do X, Y, Z, eat, and
Exactly.
then after we need to do A, B, C. So it almost like it's just like you've already accounted for everything, so you don't have to stress about when and how you gonna do something, versus like when you just flying by the seat of your pants, you got to be like, now when am I gonna do this? It's just like, well, I know because I wrote it down, or I know because I made these routines.
Yeah. And honestly, I know it probably seems like I have like, oh, this super busy life. I have a lot of downtime sometimes too, because
Yeah.
there are going to be times where I'm not. It's not like I'm booked and busy every weekend. Now I'm booked just enough for what I feel like I need to, and that's just by, I feel like, natural selection with my clients, being that we're still small and we're still growing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm booked just enough for me to be able to handle the workload with my schooling and the business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and even if there's ever a time where, say, my workload is a lot, like I get a lot of inquiries for some reason for people who be wanting 300 plus people events. And I'm like, we're a small town. I keep telling people small town caterer, but you know what? I'm glad that they have the faith that we can do that.
Okay, they trying to manifest it for you.
Okay, like, but even in situations like that, I just partner with others and we just split the workload, which is pretty
Okay.
cool. So
Yeah.
you're still supporting, small business, black business in general. Um, and I love the fact that we're able to partner, and we have a great market. We're in a great market to be able to do that. And so it's like we understand the importance of capitalizing on the business, but also whenever it's resource and time efficient to outsource, we will do that with partnerships.
Right. Right. Because I guess a important part of managing a business is knowing when it's time to go outside of your tools and resources. It's just like,
Right.
okay, like you can't, that's what I'm learning. Like you can't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone or step out of your box
Yeah.
and ask for help. Like if you need resources, it is what it is. Like, are,
Exactly.
are you gonna die on the sword because of your pride? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, no. You want your business to be successful, and sometimes to be successful, you gotta ask for help when you don't have it.
Yeah. And partnering, I'm gonna tell you something. Partnering is what brought out even more business because they got a chance to take advantage of our clientele. So it was the same with them. Whenever they needed help, they were like, "Oh, we already know who we can call upon. We trust these
Facts.
people." So whenever they need help, they're calling upon us. And sometimes it's, for something small or a whole different side of the business or whatever. Like sometimes they feel like, what, hey, we'll outsource source the event planning part to you guys, and we'll take care of the catering. We're still gonna make the money on the client either way because we're full service. As to
Right.
a lot of catering companies, not everyone is full service in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we take advantage of different opportunities in our market. I'll say that, with the partnership. So it's never uh, to me, it's never a loss. It's never
Yeah.
a loss. Never a
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah, you definitely working your angles. I just peeped what you said about that. So like, yeah, if you doing full service, it's just like, oh, I don't have to cook, but I can still do this though. It ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing. We can do these other things. So it don't matter. That's fine. That's really cool though. That's
Yeah.
really cool. It's dope to
Yep.
it's dope to be able to do that. And like when it comes to like personal time, right? Because that's what you're saying. It's almost like you busy, but it's just like I'm not so busy where I don't have a life. And and that's also important, right? Because like you don't want to go so hard all of the time that you don't have anything to give back to yourself. Because I mean, if you going so hard, like what is it for at the end of the day if you ain't
Exactly.
really got nothing to give back to yourself? So like how do you manage like doing all of that and then still having personal time?
Exactly.
Do you have a life? You still get to go out and about? You still get to do your thing?
Yeah. I definitely, like I said, we ain't booked in. So we don't know when it get down to the how we normally book is we normally ask for about 2 week notice.
Mm,
So like if it's like, 2 weeks into the end of the month,
yeah.
we ain't got nothing. I'ma definitely plan me a little Tiffany time at the end of the month.
That's why I started laughing so hard. I got to thinking about college and stuff. It's just like, nah, Tiffany ain't no prude now.
No,
Like,
no. I definitely do my thing. So pretty much I just try to plan around it, honestly. Like
yeah.
like I said, it's it's not that I'm at the point of my education to where I'm not really in classes. So I'm at the doctoral. This is my last year. I actually graduated May. So
Congratulations.
thank you. So I'm ABD, which means that I'm all but dissertation. So I pretty much make my own schedule in terms of when I want to work on my research, when I'm writing, when I make meetings. So having that schedule flexibility pretty much is working hand in hand with the flexibility of being an entrepreneur with the catering business. So I can always schedule in times uh pretty much to get my to get me in. So like just this past week I went to conference for ASCM. It's a engineering conference. And ASCM pretty much stands for the Association American Society, for Engineering Management. And it's an association or a society in general that promotes the profession of engineering management pretty much across all majors. So we pretty much had a conference, and I was there pretty much presenting my research, which is pretty cool. And I got chosen to speak on it, and they give you about 20 minutes in a session along with two other presenters, in which you present whatever it is that you're working on.
You want to talk
So
about your research?
yeah, sure. So my research is right now is pretty much it's the three pillar framework for sustainability. It's expanding that framework, excuse me. So the cool thing is right now sustainability is pretty much always focused on social, environmental, and economic factors. And together they created something called the three pillar framework for sustainability. But history and the research and the literature shows that there is no way to really use this model. A lot of models that we're employing for our understanding today are kind of old and outdated. They don't have logical properties associated with how to use them, no
Mm.
explicit description. And it's like so much research is just built upon these models and then thrown back into our literature. And then it gives me pretty much a question as to, are we as a society really moving forward basing our ideals and capitals and projects off this research, or are we needing to go reevaluate these models that we're employing for understanding? And
Hmm.
that's pretty much what my research it talks about other factors that could possibly impact our ability to remain sustainable.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting as hell. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that. I went somewhere and we were having that conversation. Somebody was saying that, but in the psychology realm of it,
Hmm.
where research is limited only, when you think about research and the things that we base all of these conclusions that we come to as a society is based on research, right?
Right.
But you only get facts off of the research that is done, right? So
Right.
just because these are the factors that they have looked into and have researched, you only have answers on those. There are still other questions and still other factors that haven't really been explored. So,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Is this really the answer? But it's like, no, this is the answer for what you've researched. But there are so
Exactly.
many other possibilities.
Yeah. And so pretty much what I'm doing now is saying, okay, let's use AI, so a neural network, AI, artificial intelligence, AI technology, to determine if there are other factors, and if so, how can we build a new model and add theoretical reasoning to that model to better interpret where we stand in terms of our sustainable goals. So yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems interesting. I can see like, you, are you having fun with that? Because that seems interesting as hell.
I am. And to be honest, I feel like it needs to be done because so much of this world, everybody, big like big company organizations, everybody's talking about being sustainable,
Mm.
going carbon neutral 2030. And when you think about what sustainability means, I mean, are we forgetting that we still have a poverty line level? Are we
Mm.
forgetting that people still aren't afforded the same workforce?
Mm-hmm.
Are we forgetting the things that pretty much cause people to become a product of their environment or impact their ability to receive the maximum opportunity out of their life? Like that, to me, is what every model in the old research or old literature, and it does lack then, because at that time sustainability was pretty much being tackled before it was even being described. We didn't really
Hmm.
know what sustainability was. All we know is that water was becoming a shortening resource. We're polluting way too many gases in the air, and at the same time we're economically going up and down. um
Right.
so it's just one of those things where we started tackling a problem that we really didn't know how to define yet. And so now that we're in a more of a technology driven age, we can go back and define explicitly what it is, and even a better solution to that, just by going back and re-looking at the scope. Sometimes, sometimes it doesn't, even in research and just in life. Sometimes you just gotta go back to where you started.
Facts.
Sometimes you just gotta recall. You gotta just check the foundation so that you can build something and build higher. And
Okay.
that's literally what is the overall theme in terms of what my research embodies.
Girl, if I had a church piano, I'd get it out, start playing it. Cause you on to something. You on to something.
Yeah, literally.
You on to something. Like, cause that's very much it. Like, I say this a lot of the times in like the podcast and my other thing that I do on YouTube, Confessions of a Healing Healer. What I talk about a lot is how you kind of like have to unlearn everything to heal sometimes. Like
Yes.
you have to question, you know what I'm saying? Because some of the things that you learned, are these really your thoughts, or are these
Yep.
things that were projected onto you? Are these conclusions that you came up with growing up in childhood based on an inability to deal with certain feelings and emotions and situations in the proper manner, right?
Exactly.
So like you have to, in order to kind of like heal and start living that life again, you have to unlearn all of these things and then really get down to the root of who you are at your core, you
Yes.
know, outside of what other people think of you or what people told you that you were or the experiences that you had. Like, who are you down
Exactly.
at that baseline, down at that root? And like that's how you can really start making significant ground and progress in any area of anything, like in any type of growth. To make any type of significant change, you have to go to square one. One of the best managers that I ever worked for in my life, he had one rule, and it was, when shit hits the fan, do your job.
Yeah.
when sh- like when shit hits the fan, like, because this is when I was working in retail, he was like, I need y'all to do three things when shit hits the fan. He was like, I need y'all to make sure there's nothing on the floor, help customers, and sell clothes. As long as you did three things, we ain't gonna have no problems.
Yeah.
And it's very much the basics. It's just like you worried about A B C D E, like, you know what I'm saying? Not A B C D E. You all the way at TWV, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You all the way down there. And sometimes you need to come back to A and be like, okay, what am I even doing
Yeah.
here? What's going on? And like, how
Agreed.
do I move forward?
Agreed. Because sometimes it's easy to get lost in the sauce, get lost.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, get lost in the journey, get lost in the process. um that's why, and that's what, honestly, like I said, the engineering management, that low key help, because in a lot of the tools that you use in like our MBOK, which is like our book of knowledge, they tell you all the time to constantly redefine your problem as you are constantly working towards your solution.
Mm-hmm.
So, if your problem has like these things you need to overcome, once you overcome one, you need to say, all right, what have I have and what I got to do next? Cool. What I have and what I got to do next? Great. It's a constant iterative process, and recalling the foundation helps you stay on track for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And like even on a personal level, it's kind of funny when I think about it. Y'all don't know this, but we know this. Tiffany, first time I met you, I was like, what, 8, 9? Like we met at elementary school.
Elementary school. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we met through like a gifted program. Like they
Yes.
just like rounded all the kids up in our school district and was like, y'all smart, y'all should meet each other and do like puzzles and shit.
Right.
Like,
to this day, I don't know
what the point was that shit?
But not have to do schoolwork and play Mancala all day. Like
That's real. That's real. We can whoop a nigga ass in
Mancala all day. To this day, like I am a Mancala champion. People be trying to. I message games, feelings hurt. Yeah,
they don't want
try.
that smoke.
No, you don't even want that. No,
you don't want that smoke, bro.
Nope.
You don't want that smoke. And did you go to where's you at? Did you go to St. Sebastian too?
No, I actually went to Coke and Highland.
Nah, I mean when we went to when we were in
preschool, yes.
Not preschool, when we had to go to them other schools. You remember how we used to have it at
oh yeah,
the other school, and we went to St. Sebastian and you had the damn 2 teachers.
Yes.
And I was in Miss Smith class and I was mad.
Yes. I couldn't remember the other lady. She was always seemed to be nicer.
I want to call her Miss Jenkins, but I ain't
Miss
sure.
Jenkins, but I was in Miss Smith class too.
Bruh, we be mad as hell. Like, you listening to them playing Bop It on the other side of the wall and she got us reading books and shit. It's like, bruh.
Yeah, Dr. Smith didn't play.
She did not play. I had gotten in trouble with her one time. I never let that shit go. She took one of my CDs, and it was one of my mix CDs that my brother gave me.
Oh, no.
Man, one of the girls, I don't want to say her name. Well, fuck it. Marvelous was fucking singing and cussing on the back of the bus. And like, the bus driver was like, who's cutting? And then fucking pulled the bus over. They like, whose CD is it? It's my dumb ass. They take my CD and shit. And then at the end of the day, after class, I go to Miss Smith because I already don't like her ass anyway. And we in like 6th grade at this point, so I think I'm grown. So at the end of the day, I'm like, can I get my CD back? And she's like, you can get your CD back when your mom gets it. It's like, don't worry about it. My brother can just make me another copy on the computer. I'm finna go home.
Right. You know what? You can have it. Souvenir.
Okay. You want to listen to Stilettos that bad? You can have it, girl. Don't worry about it.
Stilettos. Pumps in the club.
Yeah. But my point to saying that was, like, if we go all the way back there, right? So, like, my identity growing up was being the smart kid. Like, that was my identity in my mind. It's just like, shit, I'm smart. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm smart. I'm one of the smartest motherfuckers walking. So then, you know, our paths go different ways in like middle school, high school, whatever, because you start going to a whole different school district, right?
Yeah.
And again, we end up going to the same college.
Yep.
And then we meet again. So we cool, right? We cool. Girl, I was failing them classes. I was struggling. I was having the hardest fucking time, right? And like, I started losing my identity, right? Because at that point, it's just like, nigga, are you smart? What are you? Because this don't look like smart to me. And like, I wasn't used to asking questions or whatever. So that shit was fucking with my pride. Like, that shit was fucking with my pride. It was fucking with my ego. It was fucking with my identity. So when I left Rolla, it was really like me, like, not even knowing, like, I was lost, you know what I'm saying? And then I had started smoking. You already know I was always hot. Like,
right.
By the second year, I hadn't even smoked weed before I got to college. But my sophomore year,
boy, like a chimney.
Okay, it's just the facts. Okay, it's just the facts. So then, like, you know, like, I had my little identity crisis for a while, and it wasn't until like about like, you know, a year or two ago when I started going to therapy and stuff. And it's just like, that's when I had to like break all of that down and unlearn that and like really build myself back up to be like, oh girl, you struggled just because that wasn't for you. Didn't mean that you was wasn't smart, didn't mean that you wasn't talented.
Yes.
That wasn't for you. Like, you have a lane and that wasn't that. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't that. And that's okay. And like, it would be why y'all ain't heard from me. Like, my ass was just like, nope, I can't fuck with them. They too smart for me. I just like, I can't. Like, I didn't. But like, you know what I'm saying? But once you like break out of that shell and you unlearn all of that and you work through that, like, we be fine. Like, for real. Like, we be fine. It all works itself out in the end. Like, um, yeah, it's just relearning those things. It's definitely not something to be afraid of. Like, it's not something to be scared for. It's never too late to unlearn shit. It's never too late to start questioning things a little bit more, because it might be way more worth it than you think at the end of the day. Just
Exactly.
saying.
And to be honest, I went through that myself. Not really for undergrad. I actually undergrad was kind of like my little bread and butter.
I was gonna say you was busting
Uh
heads.
yeah, undergrad, but then again, I also pretty much I had a mom was really adamant about pretty much me doing what needed to be done. So I was already kind of taking college courses in high school, so I knew college courses were hard.
Mm.
So when a lot of people struggle and to even your fault, I talk about this a lot. I feel like we as the underserved and underprivileged, and that's the best way I can say it.
Ooh, okay.
Um,
We get into it.
we don't always get the college prep that we need.
Fuck
Like
no.
I said, I was blessed, and I had, if it wasn't for my mom already kind of letting me know, like, you this college gonna be hard. Like, yeah, you think you smart now? Like, my mama was breaking my ego down my junior senior year. Hey, college can't break your ego more than black women. That's all I'm about to say. Now, just playing,
That's real.
but
That's real though. That's real.
outside of that though, not everybody has that, and I feel like not everybody learns to what it means to only be the in their class and in their school, and then be pulled with other smart people, and it's like, dang, you questioning like where you at,
Right.
and it's only because they put the label on you in the first place
Right.
instead of even and I think schools are now going away from this, but instead of even separating you and because still all they did was separate you and put you in a different class.
Right.
That class still didn't tell you anything about what Marissa was really good at. Like, yeah, they gave us the personality test. I don't know if you remember that. And that's
Girl, no.
why, well, I was even considering any type of school in engineering or that, because when I took the personality test, that's what they pretty much said.
Mm.
Because I like to problem solve, because I like numbers, I would do well in the STEM field. So, but I didn't learn all of that till I was closer towards high school. But again, everybody isn't awarded that. Like, everybody doesn't get the college prep readiness. And when I say that, I mean hey, here's why you need to buckle down. Here's what it really means to study. Here's what it means to ask for help. And it's okay to ask for help. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't get that.
Right.
And a lot of people say, well, the pressure comes from the experience. But to be honest, the opportunity. So it has to be presented. The experience is going to be different no matter what type of student you are, because what you're learning and how you learn is variable for every student.
Right.
But we can, as a society, create more opportunity for us to be already aware.
Yeah.
So then when we're faced with that pressure, we'll have something in our toolbox to help us get through. And I say that because, yeah, I made it through undergrad. I was cool, but baby, grad school. Want to tell you something? PhDs are arrogant. It's like a bunch of Nobel Peace Prize people fighting over who got the best Nobel Peace Prize. Like,
Damn.
it's like it's as if you put all the presidents of the United States in a room and they debating on who was the best president. Okay,
Right.
that's a
Yeah.
debate, honey. That's how
Yeah.
PhDs act. It's putting yourself in the room of the top, and it's always about who can top who,
Right.
who's more knowledgeable, who has more skill, who knows how to think differently, bring more creative freedom to something. And
You gotta really know who you are in a situation like that, because I can't imagine.
Yes. Talk about pride. Yeah, I had the readiness.
Because you can't compare yourself. That's not even a place where you want to. Like,
Woo-wee.
you know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's a bad thing, right? Because it's just like, one, people ain't even meant to be compared anyway. Everybody got their certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, if you was put on this earth to win that Nobel Peace Prize, then you was put on there for that one, and I was put on here for this one, and she was put on there for that one. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even no room to compare. Like, what you do is different than what I do, which is different than the next person and the next person. But to get in a room where that's what it is, oh hell no, you gotta be secure as fucking yourself. What the hell is that like?
Yes, I ain't gonna lie, I was very insecure. I'm not gonna lie, it really did take a lot of growing in me. That's my grad school. When I started grad school was honestly when I started to get in counseling more, just on a personal level, because again, I had never been. It's different being. It's one thing being a first generation, undergrad. That first generation grad student, it's another ball game, because it comes in with the skill of knowing how to turn on this professor side of professionalism that I never got. And you know me, Marissa. So you know, just as well as I am in my education, is as hard as I go her down. Okay, I like to kick it. So me being very social, being very true to who I am, it was really hard for me to find my higher self and who I am in terms of the next level and what I wanted to do, because I didn't know how to balance. And I didn't know the culture. I didn't know that it's customary to wear black and white for interviews. I didn't know when I got on the grad side, I should be working with a curriculum vitae and not a resume. You just don't know. Exactly.
I said, what?
Exactly. It's just things that are customary to the next level that I never knew. And although my mom did prep me in the beginning, she did the best that she could for what she knew. This was uncharted territory.
So now you in there. You in the unknown. You deep. Yeah.
Yep. So now I'm in there. So now I'm feeling the same way you felt.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ask for help. I was struggling in grad courses, didn't want to ask for help because I didn't want to make it seem like I wasn't a top researcher, being that I had to ask for help and the other PhDs weren't. I didn't want to seem like, the person that didn't have it already done. One thing I learned about PhD students is we can get the syllabus on Friday and there's still going to be somebody on Monday who got the project done for the whole semester. Like,
damn.
Like,
what you do this weekend? Damn.
Exactly. Talking about, really, it's the verse in the Bible really rings bells to me, and whether you believe or not, it says, comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy, and I had to really ring in on that in my grad career, because a lot of the time I was comparing what it looks like to be intelligent on the outside and still to other people what it looks like, but still also falling short on what that truly means growth wise on the inside.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it
Where my
was
piano at?
it was definitely, it's definitely a stretch. If you okay, a
Yeah.
stretch in you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so real what you're saying about the gap. I remember I was even having a conversation with my therapist about it when I was getting over that hurdle personally, and she's just like, in the environments that we kind of come from, being smart in a way can sort of be a disadvantage to a certain point in your life, because like when you think about it, it's just like you're used, these things are easy, things come easy, so you're not used to being challenged and pushed out your comfort zone, forced to ask questions and things like that.
Yep.
So then when you come into a scenario where things are a little more difficult and you have to struggle a little bit more, now you don't really know what to do. Now it's different. Now you on a whole nother level and you gotta you know, overcompensate, or you kind of get faced with the like, oh shit, the identity crisis of like,
Yep.
okay, what is it that I'm gonna do?
Yep.
So like, how do you think that we fill the gaps in something like that? It's something that I think about a lot, where it's just like, I feel like to a certain extent, like kids are kind of like at a disadvantage when they put in situations like that, because like even us, like you already said it early in the podcast, it's just like they isolate. It's like, okay, y'all are the smart ones, so we gonna put all of y'all together, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Or if you don't get pulled out, it's like you the smart kid in class and you just sitting there with nothing to do, because the disparities inside one classroom are so major. It's just like the teachers be like, oh, y'all good, y'all got this, like y'all got it, I gotta go focus on these ones with like C's and D's and like F's, like I gotta put my energy and attention over here. And then you got somebody starting to fight in the back and whatever, and we just sitting here like, so what chapter we supposed to read? Like, why we reading out loud? Like
Right.
how do you feel about stuff like that?
I feel like honestly a lot of that, it takes the work. Whether that's with programs with the school, programs, professional development programs, maybe parents being a little bit more adamant.
Ooh.
It takes the work, and it's not gonna happen overnight. But yeah, I feel like there has to be infrastructure for that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it's not something that's explored too much is there's not a lot of the infrastructure isn't really. Um, a lot of things that create infrastructure or the foundations of a project always come from some type of research, some type of somebody having an idea about something working out,
Right.
or something that's funded, whatever the case may be. But either way it goes, um, it has to be something that proves to be value driven in order for it to be one accepted on the back end by students, teachers, parents alike, and then two maintained.
Yeah.
So I truly feel like we just got to build the infrastructure for it. More professional development programs or more robust college readiness programs.
Yeah.
Either one. I feel like it's the difference between the education always, no matter what school you're going to go to. And that's not going to change until we probably change a lot of our tax reform and education system. But until we do that, as a community, we can invest outside into ourselves
Yeah,
by
that's true.
creating more professional development programs, and college readiness or college prep. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because like even when because we were in college prep things when we were in, like high school, middle school, stuff like that. Like they had them available, but even to a certain extent, it was only like a small glimpse into how hard it would be. Did you have to go to that 3-week program before we started college?
No, I didn't do that.
Oh girl.
Yeah.
Oh girl. Oh girl. It's called Hit the Ground Running, but in
Yeah.
reality it should be called Hit the Wall. Because But it was a great program, because it was designed for us. Like, we had to do it because we were in the diversity program. We had the diversity scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they already knew. It's just like, where y'all coming from, it's a high probability that y'all are coming from a disadvantage. So we want to introduce you to what it's going to be like before you come up in here thinking that your old ways of operating are gonna work. Because they not. Because they not. 9 times out of 10. And I remember, like, most of us on that, like, second week of just having, like, D's, and we ain't had D's in our life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Math class done been pushed back and shit. Like, hold on, wait. Like,
Ain't starting where you thought you was gonna start
at all.
Now you contemplating how long you really gonna be in college.
Right, I went from a 4-year plan to a 5-year plan real quick. Like, real quick. And it's just like, but they was really onto something, because it was just like, you think that college is gonna be one thing. You know what I'm saying? When you come out of high school, at least from where I came from, or the types of schools that I came from, like, I ain't have to work that hard. And I took college prep classes too. And you know what I'm saying? Like, the only college prep teacher that gave me a hard time was English, and I think she was a hater. But, like, you know what I'm saying? But otherwise, it was just like, oh, fill out this packet. Like, fill out this packet, or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't get this calculus anyway, so, like, let's just call it even, and y'all gonna have to start over when y'all go to college anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that, and it's just like, once you actually go to college, and it's just like, oh, like, I don't even know how to study. Like, I don't know how to study. I don't know what time management is. I used to be able to do my homework in an hour.
Yep.
Like, and you want me to be able to read this chapter, fully interpret it by tomorrow, and then be able to ask you questions about it? Like, you not telling me what this is? Exactly. Like, oh, I'm already supposed to know what's going on before I get here? Huh? Like, what? I don't understand these concepts. Like, I don't get it. Somebody, what? Help me.
Yeah, and that's why I said, at least with the programs that we already have in place, we could make them more robust. Like, maybe get more motivated people in places, tailoring the programs, partnering with industry, or having sponsorships. Like, hey, if you're in this program, you can take a tour with, like, Anheuser-Busch and see how their facilitations work. Their facilities work. So it's like, just more robustness in the programs.
Yeah, more effort. Yeah,
but more of the college prepping readiness.
Definitely. Definitely, because it makes a difference at the end of the day. Like, these things matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not good to have that identity crisis, and I think, and like, some people fall off that don't necessarily have to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, we can struggle through it, but it's just like being able to know, because, like, sometimes, like, the resources are even there, you just don't know that they there either, because we not even used to having, like, resources to utilize. At least I wasn't. It's just like, the resources was there, but I don't even know where to begin to look for them, ask for them, or how to use them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, this was great talking to you. We don't know. I didn't expect to talk about all this, but it's very. You got my wheels turning for the night.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to get into before we get out of here?
I think overall, I just want to just specify and just remind people that your mental health matters.
Ooh.
Just take care of you. Like, I know things get rough, and when it's rough, you doing the best that you can. But take care of you. I think we would have a lot less crime and a lot less unhappy people if people just took care of them.
Okay.
So take care of you, and you matter.
You do. You definitely do. That's one of the two biggest things that I've had to learn is one, how to give myself grace. Like,
Yes.
we work hard. People be having a lot on their plate. Like, sometimes when you want to beat yourself up, you're not looking at all the factors that are stacked against you. And like, sometimes you just gotta look at everything you're doing and be like, you know what, actually I'm doing fine. I'm good. Yeah, today might not have been my best day, but tomorrow gonna be a better day. I had a bunch of good days. Actually, I'm gonna just take a break today because
Yep.
I ain't got it today. You know what I'm saying? One thing, like, knowing when you need to take that break. Like, I don't
Yep.
have it today,
Yep.
and it be okay because you need it.
Yep. And you deserve it. You deserve
Exactly.
you deserve to work at a time where you know that you're in your best health.
Yes.
Not when you I know everybody got their tired days, everybody got their groggy days. But outside of that, you're in your best health. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and make sure you're giving that to yourself.
Yeah.
And nobody else is really gonna give it to you. Not a job, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not money, even though, having $1 million will make it a little bit easier.
It would
But
make it easier, but you still gonna have to take a break. You
but
know what I'm
you
saying?
still gonna have to, yep, either
That's how
way.
you get that million. That's what
Yep.
I'm learning. That's how you get that million. The first things first is always to kind of like take care of you and make sure you good. Cause you can't do the things that you need to if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yep.
How?
Yep.
How you gonna go get that million if you tired as fuck?
Yep.
Walking around like a zombie. Your brain isn't even working at the fullest capacity that it could work at.
Yep.
You better off taking yeah, go
You're
ahead.
not operating at your highest creativity level. That's what I
Right.
like to say. Mm-hmm.
You better off taking that break, taking that nap. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody saying nap forever or break forever, but give yourself what it needs.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? To do what it has to do. Like, sometimes you gotta push that thing off to the side. Like, I did that to myself this weekend. Like, I gave myself the weekend. I went for a walk in the park. I deep cleaned my apartment. I sat here and I watched Steven Universe because that's just what my body needed. That's
Yep.
what Marissa the fuck needed. Could I have been recording? Yes. Could I have been planning? Yes. But like, I'm still gonna do that shit. Like, I'm gonna have to get it in today and tomorrow and the next day, but I'd rather put that in pieces and make sure that I got everything that I needed. Now I got the energy to be able to do that.
Yep. Exactly. Trust, I sure did. Now the conference this week that I was at, we were there till about we had conference stuff till about Saturday night. Maybe all Saturday, no, till about Friday night. So all Saturday I did what I needed. So
Yep.
that way when I came back on Sunday, I'd be refreshed and not feeling like, oh my gosh, like my life is all happening and thrown at me in a whirlwind. I had a busy day, but it was a controlled busy day. I
Facts.
took the time to plan my time to do what I needed to do, and I got most of my tasks done. As a matter of fact, the only thing that I didn't do on my task list is unpack.
Okay.
And I know that that's gonna probably take me about a good week, but either way it goes, I'm gonna do a little by little every night,
Yeah.
little by little every night. So it's like, um, you do what you can while you can, and I definitely took that time to relax and do something that fills my dopamine and motivate me to wanna keep on grinding.
Okay. Because that's what you
So,
got to do at the end of the day. Because if you ain't taking care of you, ain't nobody. You have to do it first and foremost. It's the law of
yep,
attraction.
yep, yep,
You got to do it. You want somebody to love you, you got to love yourself. You want you want somebody to give you a break, you got to give yourself a break. Like,
exactly,
so you have to do it first, and then it'll
exactly,
come.
exactly.
All right, man. I ain't gonna keep you all night, Tiffany. I appreciate you for coming through and
Of course,
talking with me tonight. It was a great conversation.
I loved it every minute.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. If y'all want more from Tiffany, tell them where to find you.
All right, y'all. Y'all could come follow me on Instagram. You can follow the business page. It's pretty much Instagram at catering to AT, and that's at CATERING T as in Tom O is in oat, A is in apple, and T is in Tom again. From there, if you follow me on the catering page, I'll follow you from back on the catering and the personal. We're also on Facebook, Catering to a T as well. Um, and then as far as I guess Instagram, Facebook. You want to come to our website. Website is TM Tolls, and that's Tom Mary Tom OLES.com. TMTolls.com. You can get all your booking services and learn more about me.
All right, cool. And if you're looking for Thinker versus Speaker, you can find us at Thinker versus Speaker on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Thinker versus Speaker official on TikTok. If you're looking for me, I am Marissa the Thinker on Facebook. Marissa Yarbrough on Facebook, Marissa the Thinker on Facebook, Marissa Y17 on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter when I feel like it, but I never feel like it.
Exactly.
And you can follow me on YouTube, my second channel on YouTube at Marissa the Thinker. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap this up. Tiffanie, thank you one last time. I really appreciate it. It was a great conversation, and I enjoyed having you.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much for having me. And girl, you already know I'm going to tell you like I always tell you, you ain't got to thank me. We go way back.
Okay. Like that sandbox, like them faux flats on that Cadillac.
So if you ever need me, just call me.
I got you. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. Have a good night. We're going to see y'all next week. You got something else to say? Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was about to say peace.
All right, y'all. We're going to see y'all next week.
All right.